In the endocrine system, one of the major glands is the pituitary gland. And so in cam clip number 3, we're going to look at the anterior portion of the pituitary gland. So the hormones that we'll look at are growth, prolactin, TSH, and those are when you see SH on the end of it, you're thinking about them stimulating another gland. So the thyroid stimulating gland TSH, and adrenocorticotropic hormone, which stimulates the the adrenal cortex, and FSH, which is a follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone, which is LH. Now, what I would recommend that you do, there is a chart on your web page that you should download and follow, because if you understand that chart, you'll be quite comfortable with what you need to know about these hormones. So this picture, I'm just trying to show you here where it is located. So you can see this is the pituitary gland right here. The anterior pituitary gland is this part right here. This is the brainstem, so you can keep it in sync here. And this is the posterior portion, which we'll talk about in the next cam clip. And again, remember that we talked about the hypothalamus being a major influence, and the hormones that it influences are the anterior pituitary gland. So they will cause the anterior pituitary gland to release releasing hormones, which in turn will go and target another endocrine gland in the body. As well, the posterior portion has direct influence, so it can directly send its message out into the bloodstream. Again, just looking at this here, these are the ones in the anterior pituitary. We'll talk about the posterior in cam clip number 4. So a number of them are releasing hormones. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, or ACTH, is a releasing hormone. It's going to target the adrenal cortex. Thyroid stimulating hormone is going to target the thyroid gland. Follicle stimulating hormone is going to target the either the testes or the ovaries, depending on your gender. And then prolactin directly stimulates the mammary glands to produce milk, and growth hormone stimulates all cells so that we can grow. So talking first about the growth hormone, when we talk about a metabolic hormone, we know that this is a hormone that's helping us burn fuel and develop. So it's directed at the growth really of our skeletal muscles and our long bones. And so overall, it helps us grow to our adult height based on our genetics. Without it, we might be too small or too large. Giantism, I think, on the other scale, or dwarfism. It's very important in what we end up looking like in terms of height and weight as an adult. When we talk about it being a protein-sparing hormone, it means that anabolic means to build up. So it allows protein to be incorporated into the tissues. And you think about what we need for our skeletal muscles and our bones, we need protein to maintain them. So in that, thinking about that, it targets the cells to grow and divide, grow in size and divide, and then causes us to use fat for energy should we need it. It does allow us to spare our glucose, because glucose is the fuel that our brain and red blood cells love the most. So that in that respect, it helps us maintain our blood sugar. Prolactin, of course, targets our breast tissue after we have a child. And as far as we know, it doesn't function in males. The TSH, or thyroid stimulating hormone, helps keep generally, when I say it influences the growth and activity of the thyroid gland, it keeps the thyroid gland happy and healthy. It can do its job, and we'll talk about what the thyroid gland does in the next clip. ACTH, or adrenocorticotropic hormone, again, keeps another adrenal gland, another organ happy and healthy. And this endocrine gland is the adrenal cortex. The adrenal gland is 2 parts. It sits on top of our kidneys. It has the middle part, which has epinephrine and norepinephrine as the hormone. And then an outside portion, it has 3 hormones that we'll talk about shortly. So ACTH helps keep the adrenal cortex happy and healthy, so it can do its job. Follicle stimulating hormone, it stimulates the follicles to develop in our ovaries so that we can produce eggs for maturation. And so once a woman matures, the follicle stimulating hormone helps produce estrogen and gets the eggs all ready so that they can be ovulated every month. In the males, it helps stimulate sperm development and helps maintain spermatogenesis, which is actually the development of sperm. Finally, luteinizing hormone, or LH, is what triggers the egg triggers ovulation in an egg, and it also helps produce progesterone and some estrogen. That's looking at the anterior pituitary gland.